Hello, everybody. Happy February 28th. We are at the end of February, you guys. Holy moly. We are 1/6 of the way through the year. How's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be here. Um, Today we're talking about awakening in the apocalypse. And what the heck does that mean? And how the heck do we do it? And our first clue is we're going to start with a little bit of sage. We're going to clear the energy a little bit. We're going to sage you, give you a little fluffing. Sage the room and the area around me. I've been working on marketing and graphics all day long. So I need a change of pace. And this is one of the ways of doing it. I use beautiful sacred white sage that's collected properly and bundled properly, in a prayerful manner, and is collected properly too. There's a proper way to collect it. So I always make sure, just like everything these days, we need to be a little bit careful about where we're sourcing things because there's so much, I don't know if you want to call it fakery, but whenever you get big needs, big demands, you get shortcuts. Let's put it that way. And so I'm so happy you guys are here. We're going to wait a little bit. And just kind of start dropping into this space, dropping into this sacred space. Hi, Karen, honey. Welcome, welcome. And just give ourselves time to just kind of settle in. We've got, oh, excuse me. All of a sudden I've got hiccups. I swear I wasn't drinking beer before I got on. We've got a lot of energy going on. We had another huge CME, coronal mass ejection, hitting us today. We had another one over the weekend, and we're really getting bombarded, you guys. And this energy is to help us. It's not like, oh no, it's really like, thank you, because it's raising the frequency. It's helping us to raise our frequency, because that's what this is all about. This awakening thing is about raising our frequency. And we do it through a myriad of different things. Most of it is consciousness based. It's what we're thinking, what we're feeling, which is pretty much guided by what we're thinking, what we're feeding ourselves on, both physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it's the ability to be able to observe the world around us without getting emotionally involved. And that's really hard because we have been trained in this particular matrix to anchor in and become emotionally involved. And part of this awakening process is to learn to distance ourselves now from the emotional, the drama and the trauma and the holy CRAPs that are going on all the time, and to maintain that center and that quiet. And what's happening is everything, the frequency of everything is going up. And that's the love and the peace and the harmony in the new earth. And it's the holy hell, what's going on? So everything is getting amplified. Yeah. Yeah, Karen, you probably have been. You're sensitive, honey. That is probably what you've been feeling the past few days. We had two biggie bigs going on. Plus, the earth is still, the earth is still shaking from all of these earthquakes and stuff too. I had an experience a couple nights ago. What is it today? Tuesday, surprise Sunday night, where I was laying down and just settling in. I'd had my granddaughter with me for like a week and a half, and it was so fun. I got to be in playland, and cartoons and fun. And for a long time, I just kind of settling back into my space, into my body. And I really started to feel the earth. And I could feel just this like whoa, whoa, whoa. And it wasn't like that gentle heartbeat of Mother Earth. It was really like this crazy energy. And so I turned on some 528 hertz music to just kind of, calm it down. But I could feel, and I've said this a couple times before. I might have even said it last week, last Tuesday, where it's like ringing a bell when those earthquakes in Turkey hit. Well, there's big earthquakes going off all around the planet right now. If you guys don't watch Dutch Since on YouTube, and I think he's on Twitch too, you need to start watching him and see what's going on. It's absolutely fascinating to watch how these earthquakes and the patterns that they take as they move around the planet. And it's absolutely fascinating, and it's not anything to be scared of because we're prepared. We're prepared. We know how to stay in our center. And it's interesting because the earth is ringing like a bell right now. And so that we've got that going on. We've got energy from the sun, and we're solar beings. I know a lot of teachings say that, especially women are lunar beings, but we really aren't. We're solar beings, we're sun beings. We are activated by the sun. It's like we can live without the moon, but we can't live without the sun. And so we are really getting activated and accelerated by the sun. And so that's why it's so important. And, I've been teaching this stuff for over 20 years. But the last couple of years, it's like, oh, come on, chop, chop. We got to get on the train. We got to get going. We got to get moving. And, it's really easy to be like, oh, I'm okay. I'll meditate tomorrow. But we're starting to get now where people are starting to go, oh my gosh, I'm having anxiety. I'm nervous. I can't sleep. And, you were starting to feel that. And what happens is if our chakras aren't clear, if our energy fields aren't balanced, if we aren't mentally and emotionally stable to a degree, who is these days, right? But to a degree, um, we're gonna feel that a lot more because this energy that's coming in from the sun, and understand it's universal energy, it's divine energy. It's not just solar energy, because the sun is the central generating energy of this universe. So that's why they used to worship the sun as God, because they understand that the central generating energy of this universe is the sun. And if any of you have done teachings about the great central sun, the great central sun, it's the creative force in this universe, in this time matrix. It is the primal light, which created the primal sound, which created manifestation. And so we're getting this energy, and it's that divine energy. Is the sun God? I don't know. Is the sun creative energy? Yes. Is it life force energy? Yes. But we don't understand fully all of this that's going on. I don't think anybody really does, but we have teachings and new teachings that are coming out that are giving us a bigger picture. But back to what I was talking about, we're getting all this energy in. And if our chakras aren't cleared, if our energy fields aren't cleared, if we're not somewhat cleared and balanced, it's like a river that's running through, and either that river can run through very smooth, or that river is going to hit all the rocks of all the stuff we've got going on, right? So say I have, an emotional block around something that's going on in the world, which I do. Right? Well, when we get these CMEs, it's going to highlight and amplify these rocks, these boulders that are in the way of the divine flow. And so that is going to come up. Like I find myself getting very upset with what's going on in the world. Last night I just found myself just crying. It's like, how could there be so much going on in the world? Humans are so beautiful by our nature. We're such loving, beautiful beings, and we live in an abundant earth that has more than enough for all of us. And if we would, use it the way we used to use it, and be in abundant co-creation with Mother Earth, there's more than enough. And it's gotten so twisted and so crazy and distorted and weirded out that we're all now, working for a living kind of thing. And it's gotten twisted and distorted, and it's upsetting, and it's been upsetting me. So we're getting this energy coming in, and so it's going to highlight that stuff, right? You're going to find things that come up. Like last night, I was just crying and crying for humanity, for how did such beautiful, beautiful beings, wind up in this situation. And, you see some of the things that are going on, and people being so cruel to each other. And it's like, wait, this isn't what we're about. This isn't who we are. Hey, Barbie. Hey, Miss Jules. It's like, this isn't who we are. But we have darkness and shadow within us, and we will, and it's okay. But we need to love those parts of us so that we can become whole even without those parts. So it's not like we got to get rid of the shadow, kill it, cut it out, the ego, kill the ego. It's like, no, 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 no. These are parts of us. We have to love them. We think of them as, and I've talked about this before too, as children who are hurt and wounded and who are misbehaving. The kid that's throwing the temper tantrum on the floor because it can't have an ice cream. Kids don't just do that because they're a-holes. Kids do that because there is a lack of love or attention or something going on. And I'm not shaking my fingers at parents either, because I had kids that threw temper tantrums. And I know how hard I tried to give them all that love and everything. But it's the picture as a whole, right? It's like humans are herd people. Humans, we're herd animals. That's why we live in tribes. That's why we live in communities. That's why we thrive in community, and a community that works together. And we don't have that anymore. We're all living in our homes with our walls, in our cars, in our cubicles, and we don't have that community feel. And so our children suffer for that. We need the aunties and the grandmas and all that kind of stuff. And we're getting back to that. But back to what I was saying, I digress. Um, it's really, really important that we be turning in, that we be really loving ourselves, that when we have pain, when we have things come up, when we have the anger, when we have that sadness, when we have that we allow it to express itself within ourselves. We don't take it out on others, but we love that part of ourselves, that angry part of ourselves. Oh my God, I understand why you're angry. I love you. I love you. I love you. It's kind of like we have to give ourselves the love that we didn't get whenever that original wound happened. And it could even be, in a past life sort of a thing. Also understanding, if we look at this as all time is now, because we live in this particular time matrix, that where we've all agreed that there's a linear time, but really all time exists at the same time. And there are different aspects of us that are in creation, in different dimensions, different places, different planets, different stars, probably different universes. And we're connected to that. So we feel that too. So, we are these senders and receivers of energy, and we're experiencing much bigger than just our little world here. But we've been trained and programmed that we have just this little world. So when we begin to understand that, even if you can't even understand it, even if you can just give it a what if, like, what if that is you? What if there are 10 other me's in 10 other places, having 10 other lives, that are having 10 other emotions and 10 other traumas and 10 other loves and 10 other, and we're all connected and feeling all that? What if that's true? If that's true, just for a minute, bear with me. If that's true, and there's other me's that are out there and they're suffering, what do I want to give them? Well, I want to give them love. I want to send them healing. I want to send them prayer. I want to say, I see you whole. I see you strong enough to handle this. I know you're strong. I know you're good, because you know that this part of you needs that. It doesn't need to be scolded. It doesn't need to be told it's a POS. It doesn't need to be told that it's wrong. It doesn't need to be that. No part of us needs that. That doesn't help anything. We don't need to be shamed or guilted. We don't need to be feared. We don't need to be abused. We don't need to be dominated or be dominant. We just need love. So when we have emotions, wherever they come from, whoever they're ours, or whomever's they are, we're gonna love that. And when we start loving ourselves, we start loving and sending that love energy out into our energy fields and out into the matrix that is the collective of all that's in existence. That's how we're going to right this ship. That's how we're going to change this world. And it's so important that we really get on it and get working on it. Last night, I was doing something. I'm not sure if I was online or not. And I got the message, and I think this sounds kind of like what Thich Nhat Hanh says, is every breath is a prayer and every step is a meditation. And so being mindful of where your mind is and how you're feeling in every moment, which is a chore, but once you kind of start doing it, it gets to be like normal. It gets to be a normal way of being. And a lot of times we need to turn off the distractions, right? We need to maybe turn off the TV, maybe turn off this. Maybe at 8 o'clock at night, this thing gets turned off and doesn't get turned on again until the morning. Little things like that, that we can start disconnecting from the matrix and start getting back into ourselves. It will truly, truly help us to be able to get back into that. Every breath is a prayer and every step a meditation, so that we can begin to reconnect to the real world. And I'm going to say that with complete passion, is getting reconnected back to the real world, because there's a lot of talk about the AI, excuse me, and all that kind of stuff, and we're already in it. We're on it right now. Even though it's real me talking to a real you, we're still using artificial intelligence to have all of this happening. Engaged rig, it's a very sacred time to be. We're here, we're so important. And you guys that are drawn to this show, you guys that are drawn to my work, you guys that show up here, to play. And that's my thing. I'm like, let's play. I don't this isn't work, this is play. But you guys are in it. You're part of the solution, and you're part of the many who are here to help shift this. And we talk about a new earth, a new paradigm, a new matrix. We talk about 5D, we talk about ascension, we talk about awakening, and we're all doing this in a freaking apocalypse, right? Which is, most of us understand apocalypse to be the end of the world. I wanted to show you guys something, and I meant to pull it up, but I'm going to do it right now. Oops. Whoops. I'm sorry, I'm talking on my phone while I'm talking to you. Okay, the apocalypse is a word that is meant to mean the complete final destruction of a world as described in the Bible. But it's also an understanding that involves the falling apart of something for the regeneration of a new, right? So again, it's the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. It's a time for revelation. In Old English, via the Old French and ecclesiastical Latin, it actually means to uncover or reveal. And it's the apocalypsis. So we're being taught that the apocalypse is the end of the world, but it's really the uncovering and the revelation. What's going on right now? A lot of things are getting uncovered, huh? A lot of things we don't even want to know about. But it's a lot of things that's been going on underneath our world, underneath this cushy world that we've had for quite some time, this fast food world, this abundant, easy food in our mouth, drive through, boxed it, can it, jar it, everything. And now we're starting to find the interesting underbelly of what all that is creating. And we're finding it's not healthy. It's not really benefiting us. It's made it easy, but it hasn't made it necessarily healthy. And we're beginning to find, and that's just a small thing of everything, just all the little things that have been going on underneath. There's a great revealing going on. It's the apocalypse, the apocalypsis. And so we're awakening in the revealing. The revealing is the awakening. And does it mean that we have to all go down all the rabbit holes like people talk about rabbit holes? Kind of cracks me up. No, we don't have to go down there and wallow in all that. There's enough people doing that. But we can be aware, and we can be our own rabbit hole. We can be our own, where we hold our own space and we feel our own feelings, and we allow that deep stuff that we've pushed down, the deep stuff that we've ignored, the deep stuff that a lot of times we've even forgotten. I had some moments a few months ago where I just cried every time anything was even tender. There was a commercial. There's a commercial on Hulu that was a squirrel and a dog coming nose to nose. And in my mind, it's like, oh no, the dog's going to eat the squirrel. And I just burst into tears. And I was so sad. And then they ended up being friends. And I was so happy. And I was just overwhelmed with this like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh of energy. Oh no, the end of the world. Oh no, it's all good. Love prevails. And it was hilarious because it's what's going on inside, but I let myself feel it. I just let myself go with it. And we really need to start doing this because we need to be our own revealing. We need to allow our own apocalypse within us happen, to where our true feelings revealed, and not be afraid anymore to feel what we feel. And when we feel things that we don't like, then love it. Love it like a wounded child. You wouldn't see a wounded child and stuff it back in the closet, right? You take it out, and you would clean his wounds, and put a band-aid on it and rock him to sleep and give him a fluffy soft blankie and maybe some tea or some chicken soup or a cookie. Treat yourself like the wounded child that is within you, and love yourself back to happiness and wholeness and health, right? Another thing that's important too, and this is my nemesis, is really taking the time to eat well and healthy. I would rather not eat at all than to go to all the work of cooking at home and all that kind of stuff. And this year, this is my journey, is to start nurturing myself by home cooked meals, really paying attention, taking the time to cook and to love my food and all that kind of stuff. And that is a way of loving myself, is doing that. Um, and so just I'm revealing to you guys one of my things that I struggle with. Um, and those are all the little things that is so important that we do, that as we're awakening in the apocalypse, in the great revealing, it's so important to love ourselves through this. And you guys are going to hear me talking about this over and over and over again until we're all okay, right? And some of the things that you can do is prayer and meditation is huge, and it doesn't have to be a big thing. Every breath is a prayer, every step is a meditation. Just take a few moments to just take a breath, and just put your hands over your heart and just feel yourself for a minute. What does it feel? Like inside me right now, I have a little bit of sadness and I'm not sure why, but I'm just going to let myself feel it. Just a little bit of sadness that wants to come up. It's going to let that sadness, and it just kind of is coming up into my chest. I can feel it in my heart, my throat, feel my ears, my eyes kind of starting to water, my nose starting to get a little like that feeling of tears. And just let that energy just come up. And I just let the energy of it come up. And then just let it go. Does it want to come up again a little bit? Yeah, it does. And as it's doing its thing, I'm just loving it. I'm loving the process. I'm loving that energy. I'm loving myself. It's all okay. I'm okay. It's just energy. It's just energy. And sometimes you can pay attention to the energy as it flows. Like right now, I'm feeling this. When I feel that sadness, I feel it in my belly. And I actually feel it at my tailbone coming up through my belly, up into like my pancreas and gallbladder, and up into my heart. I feel a little bit when I get really sad, my lungs like lock down, and I can feel that coming up, and I feel my throat getting kind of closed, and I feel that energy coming up and coming up into the roof of my mouth, coming up into my nose, up into my eyes. And I just take a breath and I just let it go and just follow and pay attention to the flow of the energy. And that's whether it's fear or anger. And I really want to invite you guys to start experiencing your feelings in a way that is beautiful like this. It's okay to feel. It's okay to feel things that don't feel good. They're just energy. Give those energies a chance to go. Let them flow. Just watch them. Watch them like they're a little leaf floating on a river. Where's this one going to go? Oh, that hurts. Oh, that stirs me up. That's okay. I'm just going to watch the flow. I'm just going to feel the flow. Where does it want to go? Right? Take a breath. Oh, let the energy dissipate where it wants to dissipate. Isn't that great? It feels so good to be able to know that our feelings aren't going to hurt us. We have some deep, dark feelings because we were hurt. And some of these feelings do hurt, but they're not going to hurt us. It's an old thing, it's a memory thing. It's in the past. The cause of the hurtful energy is gone. And that hurtful energy doesn't need to be in your experience anymore. So let's start letting these energies go. Let's start letting this stuff move beyond our existence and our experience. So I hope that that helps you guys. I hope that that's something that can really bring some blessing and some some processes or some things that you can do to help you, because with what we got going on, like I was talking at the beginning of all of this, is that everything is accelerating, and I don't think it's going to stop much, because we are in it, folks. We are in the great revealing. We are in the, I don't know if we're in what we would call the tribulation or whatever, but we're definitely in some part of the end times, as it is said in the Bible, some part of this great change, and the apocalypse, the revealing, right? And and we want to go through this gracefully. We want to make it through with our hair not too fluffed up, and our clothes not too rumpled, right? And we can do it together. Hello, Spirit Song. Hello, Mystic Mimi. And Ranjana's here. Engaged Reiki Barbie. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you guys are here. Welcome, welcome. So I'm grateful for you that are here and listening to this. Please really take this to heart, and also know if there's anything I can do to support anyone. I am a practitioner. I'm a metaphysical practitioner. I've got a bachelor's degree and all this stuff. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I specialize in past life / concurrent life therapies. I'm a holistic health practitioner. I'm an intuitive. I'm a certified life coach, and like 3 different life coaching programs, and also group life coaching. Because I'm really, my sole purpose is to help us through this time that we're going through. That's why I'm called the Awakener. And it's not that I'm going to awaken you. It's I'm going to awaken myself. And as I do that, it's like we're all lifting and sharing with each other. And so you guys are my greatest teachers too, right? We're all doing this together. I'm not putting myself above or beyond anyone ever. We're all doing it together. And that's why I'm very transparent on my shortcomings too, right? I know a lot of teachers, want that authority space, and I'm not going to do that. And we're all doing this together, and that's why I invite you to come and play with me, and to be together and do this. So if I can help anybody, my website is micheleambergy.com. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and put it up here so that you guys can see on there if I can help you with anything. Go ahead and make a session. I've got a calendar of all my classes on there. Every month I have a Saturday class that is what I call part of my ascension courses, which help with all different kinds of ascension thing. And this month, ooh, it's going to be so good. This month in March on the 18th, I'm going to be doing the New Earth Angels. We're going to be working with these new angels that have been coming in that are they're 12 dimensional angels. And we're going to start working with the Elohai and the Seraphi. And we're going to start learning about the difference between fallen angels, and the real angels. A lot of these angels that people work with, have been fallen angels. And I think that we, because of the times that we're living in, we need to be really clear on who it is. And it doesn't mean if you work with angels, you're with fallen angels. Don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. You know, you know what you're doing. But we're going to learn the difference. We're going to really learn about that. And then these angels are going to come in as well. And you're going to learn how to connect with them, to communicate with them, to learn to really work with them in whatever capacity you want, whether it's for yourself or helping others. There's going to be some activations on that. And you're going to walk away from this class being really connected to the new earth angelic realms. And it's super cool because I've been having them coming in. I've had an angel, she's a Seraphi angel, and her name is Seraphina, of course, right? Who's been coming in for a couple of years. And she kept telling me, she's from the Seraphi. She's from this really high dimension. I'm like, I'm not worthy of that, thank you. I've got Archangel Michael, and he loves me, and she keeps coming in, she keeps coming in. And she was who brought this in for me about a month and a half ago, about 6 weeks ago, saying we need to do a class. People need to know that there's a new realm of angels, if you will, that is here to help during this time. And so it's super exciting. So I hope you guys will look into that. It's March 18th. And if you sign up before the middle of March, it's only $44. So let's do that. Also, for you guys, that every Wednesday I have a meditation class too. So if you go to my website, micheleambergy.com, if you go to Conscious Living Academy, you'll find calendar, upcoming classes. You'll find meditations and other classes that I have recorded that are on there for sale. You'll find the YouTube shows on the calendar. You'll find all kinds of stuff on there. I also have blogs with some great posts and all the sessions that I offer as well. So this is what I do for a living. So I love it when you guys show up and I get to work with you personally too. It always makes it so much fun. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of this. I'm kind of moving from calling this spiritual chit chat. I'm feeling like there's a new energy coming up. There's new stuff coming up. So we'll see what's going to happen. Right now, it's just our Tuesday playtime. And I love it so much. So thank you guys for being here, for listening to the talk. And I just want to tell you, I love you a million times. And by the way, that's the name of my membership program, A Million I Love Yous, where if you do want to do the meditations every Wednesday, if you join up on the membership, it's only $33, and you get the meditation every week, which they're $25 a week. So you get that just for the $33. Plus you get angel readings, and we do a monthly meeting where we do fun stuff. So it's a really cool membership. So that's in the Conscious Living Academy tab on my website, micheleambergy.com too. So I love you guys.